All right, welcome in here to the Dedham Rec Pool. We got Norwood Stingrays action between Norwood and Dedham. My name is Brian Dunn. I have the pleasure to be joined here by Sarah Sullivan. Sarah, how are you?
I'm doing great, Brian. Glad to be here. Swimming in the summer is always the best.
Awesome. And we were just going through it before we went on air. It looks like we have the 100 IM relay first, correct?
Yes, and the IM is the individual medley, so it's one length of every stroke. You'll see the first length will be backstroke.
So they're doing them individually for this one, which is interesting.
So the first length is backstroke, the second length is breaststroke, the third length is butterfly, and the final length is freestyle. So,
are they doing it this way because Norwood doesn't have girls competing in this particular race?
It's actually a mixed relay. So then you're going to see that there will be girls, and this is all girls. This relay, excuse me, and then the next one will be the boys relay.
Okay.
So Norwood doesn't have any girls for this one.
Perfect. So this is a good chance for Dedham to
score
get
some
started
points.
here. Absolutely. Find the points on the board when you can.
And the biggest trick here is to not get disqualified. There's certain rules for each of the strokes. As far as breaststroke and butterfly, you need to do a two-hand touch, and there's certain rules on the strokes, and as long as they don't get disqualified, they'll get the points.
And a very interesting tidbit that we went over before is that it looks like they're swimming here in lane 4. So Dedham, since they are technically the home team, they get to pick which lanes they compete in. And technically, 3 and 4 are the higher time lanes, correct?
Yes, so lane 3 will feature the Norwood swimmer, who's technically the fastest, and lane 4 should feature the Dedham swimmer, who's technically the fastest.
Which I had no idea before going into this. I thought it was just completely taken out of random, but that's actually a great point, just so you know who to look for.
And here we go. We got the Norwood team in lane 3 and the Dedham team in lane 4. And as you can see, they're very different ages swimming right now, but they need to swim one child from each age group. At least one. No child can swim the same age in this relay. So
as a leg as a team as a whole, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Very good. So yeah, it looks like things are going well so far. Norwood jumping in the pool.
And our Norwood team is made up of Kirk Matthews swimming the backstroke, David Brewer swimming the breaststroke, Nicholas Brewer swimming the butterfly, and John Flanagan filling it out with the freestyle.
Give a shout out to Nicholas Brewer. He was, I've had the pleasure of teaching LCS this summer. David and Nicholas Brewer.
Okay, both.
Nicholas was part of LCS this summer. He did very well. So I'm glad to see him both in the pool and in the classroom as well.
And just for those who don't know who are watching this, LCS is our Lights Camera Summer program here at Norwood Community Media. It's a free program that we offer during the summer, 1 week for children rising into middle school. So it's a great program. If you haven't checked it out, try it next summer.
Absolutely, and those flyers usually go out middle of the spring. So if you're ever interested, hit us up.
Here's John Flanagan finishing up for Norwood. He's doing a great job swimming down the pool. This isn't an easy thing for a young kid to do.
Absolutely.
He's only 7 years old, doing a great job.
Especially when you're on the younger side of the age group, there can be a lot of pressure to perform. But,
yeah, it's a little bit intimidating when you're swimming with the big kids.
These kids do great. No, it's awesome.
All right, so now it looks like we're moving on to. We'll be moving on to the fly, but they've changed things a little bit since my daughter swam. It looks like the timers are moving versus the swimmers.
Yep.
The younger swimmers used to start up the other end of the pool, but now it looks like they have the timers moving, which probably makes a whole lot of sense.
And it's great that you're with us because you obviously, know your stuff when it comes to swimming. I know Caitlin was a very avid swimmer when she was younger. Still is an avid swimmer, I believe, right?
She still loves to swim.
Absolutely.
She swam through the Stingrays program, both winter and summer, and then swam at the high school and finished out her career in her senior year in high school. So if she would have swam in college if they had a pool, but they didn't have a pool where she chose to go.
Well, she went to New Hampshire. It's basically snowbanks up there for the most part. So the boys group will go first.
Yep, and it looks like it's Liam McDonald and Will Duckworth from Dedham.
Very good.
And if you see butterflies, tough stroke. You got to try to keep your legs together. if you don't keep your legs together and do the dolphin kick, they are likely to disqualify you. So sometimes they give the little kids a little bit of a break. It's like this summer league is all about development. It's all about learning how to swim, getting your practice swims in, trying new things during the summer.
Right.
That's kind of how, it's all about learning how to do this.
I mean, I can tell you right now, if I tried to do a butterfly stroke when I was this age, I would look like a fish out of water. So commend these kids for even knowing how to do it at this age, let alone doing it at an effective pace.
And 25 yards is a lot longer than you think it is.
Oh, unbelievable. And when I used to do swimming, when I did broadcasting in college, they would do, the 500 meter, the 250 meter, and I look at that and I'm like, that's easy. That's 2 or 3 laps. Nope, that's like 20 laps if you're lucky.
It's a long swim.
So these can, endurance really kicks in during some of the later events.
Well, it sure looks like Dedham and Norwood are making good showings here. Dedham's got some strong swimmers. I will say Dedham has a really strong program. They are lucky enough to have an indoor pool where they can get a lot of swim time, both summer and winter. Norwood, as you know, has 2 great pools for the summer where they get an awful lot of time in and really develop. But sometimes you can see the development a little bit more if they've had more pool time.
Dedham and Westwood particularly do well in the Tri-Valley League in the high school, and it is because they have their own facilities where they can train. We did a broadcast earlier this year in Westwood where it was sort of like a pseudo home meet for both, because that's where Norwood usually swims for their home meets, but Westwood's there too. So that was really cool to do. But yeah, Dedham has a strong program overall.
So here we have from Norwood, Jaden Batista and Jack O'Keefe, and they're looking great coming down the pool.
Absolutely.
Jaden's really come along, and so is Jack. I remember them as really young swimmers, probably 5 and 6 when Caitlin was finishing up.
And something to look for too is the times. If their times are good enough, they can qualify for the A and B meets. I believe coming up in a couple weeks, which is essentially playoffs for them, right?
Yeah, it's the championship swim meets. I believe the B is this weekend in Newton, and I think the A is the following weekend in Newton. So they really have some tough splits to get to qualify for the A. But what's great about swimming is it's all about competing against yourself as much as others.
Correct.
Because you want to just try to do your personal best.
Correct.
Coach Catherine Lee, actually, we talked to her a bit in preparing for this summer, and I will say that she said her swimmers have had a great year. There's been a lot of personal best, and it's really about, getting your time in, dedicating yourself, and really, trying to do a little bit better every time. And it's not going to happen every swim, but you know what? Over the course of the summer, as they swim along, they really do improve and get more confident in the water.
And I was talking to Catherine before the meet, and one of the big things that I asked her, hey, is there anything about the team that you want to share? And one of the biggest things she said is that, regardless of stats or whatever it may be, it really is about team camaraderie and building that relationship with the kids and with teammates, and getting them in the mindset that it's a team effort and everyone's in it together, cheering kids on. There's not a lot of louder places in terms of people cheering other people on than a pool. Everyone's into it, everyone's together. It really is a cool thing to watch.
And what you'll see right now is during the summer, and actually in most meets, sometimes they try to move the meets along a little bit, and you've got a combined race here of boys and girls, and it's just because they want to fill the 6 lanes. It's a lot more fun to compete against other people while swimming, so rather than just swim a couple kids, they're going to combine and try to put most of the kids in here. So you'll see the Norwood swimmer in lane 3 coming in here first. The Dedham young swimmer is coming in second, and then the young man over here from Dedham finished first for his age group. And here we come, another Norwood swimmer, it looks like. And over in lane 2, Dedham swimmer is pulling it up. Looks great. Everybody's had a strong 50 yards.
Absolutely. We haven't had I don't think we will see a week 1 this entire meet, but these kids are doing well. And that's got to work to their advantage in terms of downtime. If they're combining the meets, let's say 3 and 3, yes, it moves it a lot more quickly, but there's not a lot of downtime for the kids where they're sitting there, waiting to go. So that's a good thing as well.
Okay, here you see 2 Norwood swimmers, Hannah Abrahams and Charlotte Matthews. I know that these girls are 2 great friends, but they love competing against each other as well. They've been swimming for probably, 7 years at least by now. Actually, probably 8 or 9 now. And you can see it in their strokes. If you see, I believe that's Hannah in lane 3, and she's got a great stroke coming into the wall there, finishing up strong.
So it sounds like you could potentially see Hannah Abrams and Charlotte Matthews competing for the high school team maybe in a year or two.
I believe so. So hopefully we'll see them up at the high school. Now that the high school's gone to the winter season and has a co-ed team, we're hoping to see that program grow. And Norwood Stingrays has done a great job of feeding into that, and hopefully it'll only grow now that we're co-ed.
We're moving right along.
And it looks like Norwood's got a great lineup here as well. Looks like all Norwood diving into the pool. Even in lane 2, it looks like they filled in an additional Norwood swimmer.
Right.
So we've got the 13-14 fly, David DiMattia, Agamemnon Alexopoulos, David Brewer, and Connor Curran. And I believe, was Connor in one of your programs as well?
Abby Curran is in this
okay.
week's. I don't know if, so I was on vacation last week, so I don't know who exactly was in last week's group, but.
It's funny because I've seen these kids grow up swimming, and it's great to see their development as they come along, and it's amazing to see how much stronger they get. So.
There's history that goes generations for Norwood swimming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talk about the coaching tree, right? Catherine Lee, swimmer. Marguerite Lee, swimmer. The entire Lee family is a swimmer. The Meta family, Evelyn Meta's an assistant coach here. A lot of it is giving back too. So when your time is up, a lot of people come back and either coach or they help out, or they have younger kids that get into the program.
And we even have another coach this year, is actually the captain of our high school team. She's not here tonight, but Belle Inzada is a coach this year as well.
Yes.
So, oops. Looks like we got one young lady swimming against these boys. Let's see how they do.
Interesting.
Now this is 15-18 fly for the boys, and that's Michael Scuderi, George Lintz, and Victor Green.
And you hear it, right?
Yep, you hear it because you can see a great race here. You got the Dedham swimmer coming in fast to finish. Oh, looks like, but what a race.
All right.
Strong finish.
Are those the first 2 spots for Dedham?
Nope, that's I believe that was one first for Dedham and second for Norwood, and
Perfect.
we'll see third and fourth for Norwood.
Very good.
And it looks like that was a Dedham swimmer in the first lane as well.
Switching gears to a younger group here, so 8 and under 25 freestyle.
Now this is where we're going to see a lot of heats, because this is where we're really talking about the kids who are developing, just learning.
Right.
And they work so close. The Stingrays coaches do such a great job encouraging these kids and building up their confidence.
Right.
And we're towards the end of the season, so I'm sure these kids have come a long way this season. It's a great program to watch, and we just finished watching some great swims from our 13-14 and 15-18s. Well, they started here too, so it's great to see the program
And that's
grow.
the thing, right, is like the kids who are in the 15-18 group, they started right here in the 8 and under group, and it just shows how well the program does year in and year out. Kids come back and they want to learn more and they want to do better. So this is really the foundation for kids who create really strong swimming careers when they're older.
And you'll see a lot of these kids will go off the side because it's a little bit intimidating to go off those blocks. So It's all about taking your time, getting your confidence. Looks like we've got a Dedham swimmer who's ready to go off the blocks.
But they're still using the technique of pushing off that back foot.
They're still learning the diving technique, which is really the important piece of it all. And freestyle is one of the first strokes that everybody kind of gets most comfortable with. So you'll see a lot more heats in the freestyle and the backstroke events. They're a little bit easier, less technical than your breaststroke or your butterfly.
Now the term freestyle generally refers to, whatever you like. Is a freestyle so I would call that the crawl, the front stroke, whatever it may be. Do you have to do that, or is a freestyle totally what you want to do?
That's an interesting question, because I think technically no, but I have never seen anyone in many swim meets swim anything but the crawl in freestyle.
I mean, it's the fastest, it's the easiest, so people just do it, but technically, if I wanted to do a backstroke, could that count as my freestyle?
I'm not sure. We might have to check the books on that one. And this is where you can really see the depth of the program. I know that this is probably one of the best ways to learn how to swim. It's when you have to swim 25 yards, it is a great skill, a life skill that you can teach your children so that, in the future, if they ever found themselves in a place where they had to swim, they have the confidence and the endurance and just the knowledge about how to safely, hopefully get themselves to the side if they got caught in an area where they needed to do so. So that's one of the best things about swimming, at least what I enjoy, felt best about for swimming is, you really are teaching them a skill that could potentially save their lives.
And I'm thinking about it, like I have a pool in my backyard. End to end, you're maybe looking at 10, 12 yards. And 25 it seems a lot more daunting when you're doing laps around my own pool as opposed to being in a pool like this.
And here we are going with the 8 and under boys. So you'll see a full pool. It's great to see all these kids in the pool. Looks like the Norwood swimmer in lane 3 is really pulling out ahead of everybody else. He looks really great, and it looks like we got another Norwood swimmer in Norwood swimmer in lane 3 and Norwood swimmer in lane 5. They did a great job with the Dedham swimmers in lanes 1 and 3 doing a great job as well.
And along with the theme of, community, it sounds like a lot of the parents kind of step in due times.
This truly is, I think, like every sport. It takes a whole group of people to pull this off. And you've got volunteer parents, you've got parents timing. You need 2 for each lane and, a couple from each team. So you've got probably about 25 volunteers easily each meet to get this done. You'll see there's a stroke and turn judge who looks at the strokes and makes sure that they're doing it correctly. That's a whole nother skill, and that takes actual real training. So those volunteers really deserve a lot of credit because they spend some time going to classes to learn the rules and help teach these kids the right process.
And you were a volunteer back when your kids were younger, correct?
I was a volunteer. I started out timing, and then I ended up doing the scoring because
no free seconds for your own kids, right?
Nope, no free seconds. But I do have to say the swimming community is a great community. You see these parents over and over again. So you actually, like any sport, right? You meet parents from other towns. You're in close quarters, trust me, a lot of the time. So you get to know these people. You get to know their kids, and it's it's a great program. And as these races go on, you'll see one of the things about swimming that I also like is the younger kids maybe not, they just want to climb out and get out of the pool, but as they're older, you'll see them stop and wait for everybody to finish, and it really is about cheering everybody on. So I do think it's competitive, make no mistake, but it is about cheering each other on.
And everybody loves it.
And you can see right down here, and I don't know if we can get it on camera, but in lane 6, we've got a little one just trying to finish and making it to the end, and people cheering them on. And that's really what the swimming is about.
And that's awesome. And everyone loves it too, right? Everybody who comes to a swim meet, whether you're a parent or a kid or anything, they all love to be here. They all want to be here. So that sort of emotion, that enthusiasm sort of carries over in the years as well, which is really cool to see.
Swimming is a commitment, and like everything, it's a commitment for the swimmer, it's a commitment for the family. I think what people don't understand is these kids are swimming a swim meet at 6 o'clock at night, but I'll tell you, practice was for the older kids at 7 a.m., from 7 to 8 a.m., and the younger kids from 8 to 9, so everybody's up early. That's a lot to ask of these older kids to get up early on their summer vacation every day. So Monday through Friday, they're in that pool at 7 a.m., and at the beginning of the summer, let me tell you, that pool is cold.
Right.
Now you might like it, but it's still at 7 a.m.
I complain getting up for work at 7 a.m. But
and you're getting paid.
Right. And that sort of goes to the family point, right? Is that you're with these kids every day. So every day you're talking about swimming, you're talking about what happened last night. Like that sort of camaraderie sort of comes organically, but a lot of it does come in the pool where these kids are competing.
Now we've got the 9-10 girls free. Looks like we got a full group here. It looks like Megan Malloy, Sydney. Oh, excuse me. I'm not sure which way they're going because there's multiple kids. But we've got Norwood and Dedham swimmers filling the pool. Looks like the Dedham swimmer came in first down there.
So that was the 11-12?
No, excuse me, 9-10.
9-10?
9-10 girls. I believe that was Megan Malloy, Sydney Cochran, and Shannon Lamorticelli.
Right.
it's a little bit hard to distinguish these kids with the caps and the suits. They really do all look alike, much like a hockey game or a football game. It's not easy to identify.
Yeah, it really does move quick.
Yep, they have these systems down. Dedham runs a great meet. I do have to say, this is a pool. As we said earlier, it's an official pool, 25 yards. Not every pool during the summer is 25 yards. So this is a pool where they can qualify for the championship meet. So it is an official meet where they are timing. But Dedham has been doing this for years, and they run an excellent meet.
I'm assuming every high school pool has to be official 25 yards, right?
Yes, the indoor pools typically are. It's the outdoor pools like Hawes Pool, where our Norwood Stingrays swim every summer. That's about a 40-yard pool, so it's really, what's really interesting is these kids who are learning to swim are swimming 40 yards, so when they get to a 25-yard pool, it probably seems a bit easier.
That's interesting. I would have never known. I mean, I swam, when I was younger, I was in the Hawes camp. I didn't know I was swimming 40 yards.
Yep, but you were swimming 40 yards, so that's a long swim, especially when you're just learning to swim.
Right.
So, you could argue either way. It might give you an advantage because you learn how to swim 40 yards pretty quick, or, I think it's a little bit of an advantage because some of the races you learn real fast.
I'm sure it is, because if you learn pacing at 40, pacing at 25 is going to, by math, I would say, be simpler.
Mm-hmm. But for the older kids, then they swim 50 yards.
Right.
And they swim 50 yards, so I think our older kids get a little bit of a break in our home pool.
Right.
I believe this is the 9-10 boys free, so it should be Owen Keats, Advaits, Shiv Kumar, and Kirk Matthews.
Yes, 9s and 10s. Owen is the...
and I apologize if I am messing up any pronunciations.
Owen, the sole 10-year-old in this group. Now, 9 and 10, is that 4th and 5th grade, right? Generally?
I think so, but I'm not sure
I always have grades stuck in my head just because that's how doing sports, most of it's built, but I believe it's 4th and 5th.
So now we're going to see the girls 11, 12, 50 free. So for Norwood, we have Catherine Green, Michaela Brown, and Abigail Curran.
So Abby Curran is an LCS student this week, actually. So that's quite a busy day for her if she's doing LCS in the morning and a swim meet at night.
That is for a long, and she probably did practice at 7 a.m. before she came.
I don't doubt that.
And it looks like for Dedham, it's Jade Brown, Sasha Daniels, and Anne-Marie Messina. We'll see how these girls...
So a full 6 lanes.
Remember, we've got Norwood in lanes 1, 3, and 5, and Dedham in lanes 2, 4, and 6. And lane 1 is on the far side of the pool from where our camera is. Lane 6 is closest to our camera. And it looks like it's a fairly close race. We got the Dedham swimmer in the lead in lane 4, but it looks like Norwood's pulling up strong in 2nd and 3rd if they can hold off these Dedham swimmers. But it sure looks like we got Dedham first, Norwood second and 3rd.
Yep.
So that looks good. And then Dedham 4th and 5th, and Norwood 6th. A nice swim by those.
Catherine Green was right with her, so that was great. And you got to think, and you probably would know, is the timing of that turn when you hit the wall has got to be so key to just get a good head start going into that final 25.
Yeah, the turn is really a key component. The right turn can really pick up some time. It can make all the difference in a race. Now we've got the boys 11 and 12 free. For Norwood, it looks like we have Oscar Batista, Devin Lamotorticelli, James Saulnier, and Nicholas Brewer. And for Dedham, it looks like Paul Lupians, Noah Smati, and Vinny Messina. So maybe one was out because that was 7 names, but it looks like a good swim for our swimmers there.
I want to mention Brian Curley is also with us doing the swim meet. Current Notre Dame student. We were talking before the broadcast where he's going. He does broadcasting for the football team, and I just gushed at the fact that he gets to go to Georgia and Michigan and all these cool places, and he's here at the Dedham Rec Pool doing swimming with us. So just shows a testament to the type of people that come back. So thank you, Brian, for being here.
And here we have our final 11-12 boys swimmer. This is always hard when you have to swim 50 yards by yourself.
Right.
This is the part where it's hard to push yourself when you don't have anybody swimming next to you, and also you feel like all eyes are on you. But he's doing a great job in this swim, so it's nice to see him. Great stroke and a great finish.
He didn't hesitate at all, which is really something.
He has a really nice stroke, so it was great to see.
13-14 freestyle.
13-14 yard free for Norwood. It looks like Hannah Abrahams, Maddie O'Keefe, and Alex Inzada are in the pool for Norwood right now. We're going to have 2 heats, so there's more to come.
And the heats are by design just because there's more participants in that category.
Right, there's more than 6 swimmers. So, But the first heat is typically the heat that puts in the swimmers with the fastest times.
Right.
And it sure looks like Hannah Abrahams pulled in first there in lane 3, I believe. So, if I saw the finish correctly.
Do they do? I guess the term is like exhibition events at this level? Because I know at the college level sometimes they do exhibition heats where a lot of people will swim, but their scores don't count toward the final.
I'm not sure of the rules in the summer, to be honest. I believe that the first heats are the ones that are counted, but in some of them, the second heats, I think it's just the first heat. But these swimmers, so you got a full Norwood pool of girls here swimming, and they're doing a great job.
And it's great because you can identify Norwood because they have the bright yellow caps.
Yes. And a lot of times a lot of these swimmers who swim these second heats, you can only swim so many individual events, and a lot of times what they'll do is they'll swim a second heat for a stroke they want to practice or just get more pool time for. So it really offers a good opportunity for everybody to develop.
Right. So that makes a little more sense.
And it looks like Michael Flynn, Agamemnon Alexopoulos, and Thomas Lynch are in for Norwood. And the sole Dedham swimmer. That's not an easy task, being the only one going for your team.
Right. And it's loud in here. We got a neck and neck
Great
race.
finish. Let's see. Looks like
Norwood.
Looks like Norwood out-touched. What a great swim.
And look at that. They shake hands right after.
And
it's sportsmanship.
That's the piece of community that I'm talking about for the swimming. I really do think it's a great part of it.
And that's great. Not even a question. It's just, hey, great swim.
And here we go. It looks like a whole nother fleet of Norwood swimmers. So you can see we have some depth, and I'm sure hoping a lot of these kids are going to be swimming at Norwood High School this fall.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they swim at some of the other area high schools as well. But hopefully there'll be a few up at Norwood High.
It really does speak to the program that they're able to pull off this many numbers, especially this late in the year too. If you think about, a lot of these kids at this time of year, a lot of families go on vacation, whether it's the Cape or somewhere. To see all these kids still here, early August, that's also a testament to how, like you said, the dedication to the program.
Hopefully they'll all wait till after the championship meet and then go on vacation.
Yeah. I'm sure there's built-in plans there. 13-14 final heat.
And it's another group of all Norwood swimmers here. Looks like it might be Aiden Cadaldo, Siddharth Aurora, and Ted Caparata. That previous heat was Connor Curran, Trevor Brown, Joseph Green, David Saulnier, and Ethan Duhamel.
So just to put into perspective how quickly these things move along, we got about over 50 scheduled events on the card here, and we're already through 20. So, and we're, what, a half hour in? So these things really do fly.
They do. But breaststroke is coming. And that always goes a little slower.
Well, it's a difficult stroke. I don't blame you.
It is. I feel like I swim backwards when I swim that stroke.
And I see Scafati on the lane nearest us.
Yeah, Nadia Scafati is going to be the captain of one of the captains of the high school swim team, and I see Kira Vidarisi in lane 3 for Norwood. So there's 2 strong swimmers.
And Audrey here gets off to a good start.
And a lot of it, you talk about the wall, but it's also the start off the block that can make a difference, and it's really reacting correctly to that, to the whistle or to the start ring.
I mean, it's never always perfect, but do they try to time it each time, where it's like get, set, go? It's the same time each time?
They try to time it, and you've got to learn. Looks like Kira's having a really strong swim. Nice finish by her.
Right.
First for Kira, second for Dedham, and then third, Audrey pulls in strong for third.
Absolutely.
Nice swim.
And Audrey being a captain of the high school team at 16, that's a tremendous accomplishment.
She's also one of our Norwood High School television students.
Yes.
She does quite a bit in the program.
Anchor by day, swimmer by night.
And now we've got the boys 15-18 free, and then we've got Michael Scuderi and Ryan Steele. And it looks like Ryan is in should be in lane 5, and Michael is in lane 3. Whoa, that was a tight finish, almost too close to call. I'm not sure who. And a nice swim by the Norwood and Dedham swimmers there. Strong finish. I need to see those times to know what happened.
And this is good to have a team like Dedham, if not, the same caliber as you, to kind of test where you're at in your swimming career. What if certain swimmers could be seconds better than you in a certain category? Hey, I could be better at this, or I can improve upon that. So it keeps them honest, really. So we have, looks like another young group coming up here.
Yep, and we're moving into the breaststroke.
8 and under 25 breaststroke, yes.
And it looks like we have one swimmer here from Norwood.
Anna Flanagan.
And this is a testament, because
Right.
breaststroke is a really tough stroke to learn how to do. And to get in the pool and try to do it is in 8, 9, I don't know how old she
6
is.
years old.
She's 6 years old. That's pretty amazing.
That's unbelievable.
She's swimming in the pool by herself, trying to do a
Incredible.
stroke that most people can't do correctly.
I can't do it, and I'm 23 years
career.
old. So
What a great swim.
That's awesome.
Love to see this.
And we'll have this broadcast for years to come, so she can look back on this when she's 6 and say, hey, I did it just as well. So that's great for her. Awesome,
what a great
job.
swim. Good job. And what a finish.
Touches the wall.
And there you
Fantastic
hear
job.
it. That's what you hear at swim meets.
Fantastic job. It looks like he's got a friend to meet her at the end of the wall, which is great.
It looks like we've got 2 Dedham swimmers here. Oh, 3 Dedham swimmers. They've got some breaststrokers. That's a great thing. Looks like it's Andrew Jones, Ronan Olawol, and Will Duckworth. And I apologize to Dedham. I'm trying to make sure I catch up with the names. It's just sheets are a little different, so I'm fumbling through them as best I can.
Yes. Names are everywhere.
And
so
I've
we
lost
do
track
apologize.
of the age groups, so it's a bit of a problem. Great swim by two young swimmers there. And now we have the 9-10.
9, 10, 25 breasts.
Looks like Norwood has fairly deep field here.
Yep.
Looks like Sydney Cochrane, Shannon Morticelli, and Emma Flanagan are in the pool for Norwood right now.
Yep. So we'll have a
And
second
it
heat
looks
of
like
this.
Dedham has a great breaststroker there in lane 4. Beautiful stroke,
Oh,
nice
great.
and smooth, strong kick. She is just going through that water. Oh, what a
Couldn't
nice
have
swim.
a more perfected stroke there.
And great swim by our Norwood swimmers there. First for Dedham, second, third, and fourth for Norwood. So great swim. And it looks like this is an all Norwood heat. And it looks like we've got Lila Noble, Sai Aurora, Ariana Callanan, Reagan Curran, and Jillian Kavalowski.
Kavalowski.
Again, I apologize for mispronunciations. And here you go. It's just, you can really see how difficult this stroke is. You can't just kick out your legs. You really have to thrust them back with some.
It works muscles you never knew you had.
Exactly. Give these swimmers a lot of credit because this really is about development here and perfecting your stroke. It's the opportunity. You get more time in the pool in the summer than you do at any other time of the year in Norwood. So it's great they're here and doing it.
And at this level, you're learning the strokes, you're learning the techniques, but you're also learning your breathing techniques as well, like when to come up for air, when to push through, stuff like that.
And I'm glad you said that, Brian, because I think people really don't understand how difficult sometimes it is to get that breathing pattern down correctly and make sure you have the oxygen to execute the stroke.
You're exerting energy while you're swimming. You're swimming 25 yards at a time, and you're not. The goal is not to stop, right? So there's moments where you do have to find that quick half a second, get air, go back in.
Strong swim there by Norwood. It looks like Norwood pulled in first. We had in there for the 9-10 boys, Jaden Batista, Kirk Matthews, and Graham Brown. And I believe that was Jaden there in lane 3 that finished first, so great swim.
Yes.
And a strong swim, there we go. Norwood finished up, great job. This is a stroke where you do see a number of disqualifications because it is a tough one to learn, it's a tough one to perfect, and the kick is really, you can't break the water with your kick, you have to kick a certain way. It can't be a frog kick like many of us were taught when we were younger for breaststroke. It's a much more, it's a very precise kick that really needs to be honed over a number of years. So, but when you get it right, you go really fast.
The goal in mind is that you're not supposed to be using legs as momentum. Correct?
Well,
like you have to.
No, you're using the legs for momentum. It's just you have to. There's a certain. It's more of a not a frog kick, but more I don't know, a thrust out. So you'll see as the kids get older. Hopefully, we might be able to see a little bit of it. And here we go. I believe this is the 11, 12 girls in the pool now, and that should be Catherine Green and Michaela Brown.
So if I'm not mistaken, we'll see it in a couple events, but Michaela Hurley's competing in the 15, 18, 50. She's the only girl competing. And she qualified this year for Norwood High. I believe it was all states. It was something of that sort. It was a MIAA playoff championship that she qualified for with a great time. So you talk about running that breaststroke early.
Oh, it looks like we got quite a race. So we got to see. Dedham's coming in strong.
Oh, it's so close.
Close touch out, but it looks like Dedham might have touched out.
Wow.
But what a great finish.
That's as close as you can get. Unbelievable.
And I think that was Catherine Green. there in lane 3
Yes.
with a really strong swim for Norwood.
Yes.
And Michaela Brown's coming out at lane 5. What a swim.
That adrenaline must kick in when you're coming on that home stretch and you hear that crowd. You're like, ooh, you can hear it. I was getting jacked up just sitting here.
Okay, we got 11-12 boys here. John Lynch, James Solnier, and Nicholas Brewer are up for Norwood. Looks like John Lynch is in lane 3.
All 11-year-olds here, so same grade.
John Lynch is the youngest of 3 boys who swim. Thomas, George, and John, so they really have swimming in the family. Love to see a group of boys swimming. And it looks like Dedham's got a strong swimmer in lane 4, excuse me. Beautiful stroke.
Very strong.
You can see the power when you get that stroke correct.
Unbelievable. And it's the rhythm too. Once you find that flow, it really can take off.
And here comes John Lynch. And our Norwood swimmers are looking good here, but John Lynch looks to be swimming strong. And is that Nicholas Brewer or James Solnier? Both finished up strong there in lanes 5 and 1.
Very nice. James Solnier, another LCS kid.
Next event, girls 13, 14, 50 on Backstroke. Step up.
13. And it looks like Norwood's got 4 swimmers in this heat. Charlotte Matthews, Kaylee Brown, Alex Anzada, and Megan Crispy. And Dedham's got 1 swimmer in this heat, in lane 4. Looks like it's a close race here. In lane 3 and 4, they're really keeping right with each other. It's going to be another tight finish here. It's great to see.
Oh wow.
Looks like Matthews is trying hard. Let's see who. Oh, too close to call from here for me. I don't know if you want to call that, Brian.
I say give it to the both of them. Just let them both have it.
You know that's not how it works in sports.
I know. There's always a winner.
Great swim by our Norwood swimmers. That was Charlotte Matthews in lane 3 with that tight finish. Here we go with 3 Norwood swimmers, 1 Dedham swimmer. Dedham again is in lane 4. And this is where you really see that hard work pays off in all those years of swimming early.
Yep.
They learn the stroke, they know how to do it, and they're moving. I've always been impressed by this. It's not an easy stroke to master.
It doesn't look easy, and that's the telling part, is that it looks like a ton of work.
To get that height out of the water and to really get the breathing, the arm stroke, the leg stroke down is really an accomplishment. Great swim by that Norwood swimmer, first place.
And you're moving your arms outward as opposed to in front of you. So that's almost like water resistance coming back at you.
Strong swim by, I believe, David DiMattia there in lane 3. And here we go with the rest of the Norwood lineup. Thomas Lynch, David Brewer, David Solnier, Aiden Cataldo, Siddharth Arora, Ted Caprota, and Ethan Duhamel. And it's great to see, again, a pool filled with Norwood swimmers, all 6 lanes.
Really almost every event we've had, they've had at least 2, 3, or 4 in every event.
And I'll say it again, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's really a testament to the dedication of these coaches, the volunteer board of the Norwood Aquatics Club. It takes, a whole bunch of people to make sure that this program runs. Catherine Lee grew up swimming in this program. She's coached it, I think, for 6 seasons at least now, maybe. So she's been coaching since she was 16 or 17.
Right.
And she's been coaching for quite a few years now, and it's really a great group of people.
It's impressive. The thing that's impressive to me is the amount of work that goes into it. And not only in the coaching aspect, but the time as well. Like we said, 8 a.m. every day, every day. And that's not an easy thing to do, especially when you're that young, when you have other aspirations, whether it's with your social life or other things, it's tough to get up at 6:30 every morning and go to the pool. But these kids do it year in and year out. I'm sorry, I just hit the tripod out of Brian's hand, but.
Next to that girl, 15-18, this is our Backstroke.
Okay, 15-18. This is where Michaela Hurley. You see her there,
Yes.
the sole Norwood swimmer in lane 3.
Lane 3. Watch Michaela go. She got a great jump, and now she's off.
Michaela's also a great NCM employee for us. She
Great.
does some great filming, but boy, can she move in the water. And it's great just to watch her.
And as you can see, there's a reason why she qualified amongst high school kids. These are 17, 18-year-old kids. Super impressive.
Her brother would like to take credit for teaching her everything she knows, Brendan.
I'm
but
sure he would.
I think Michaela's done just fine on her own.
I think he
Great swim, Michaela.
he traded in his swim cap for a bathing suit down in LA, so I'm sure he's just fine.
And Norwood's got another strong showing here, filling all 3 lanes. Victor Green, Jake Wilkinson, and George Lynch. And I know Jake, and I'm fairly confident that Jake and George are on the high school swim team. Not sure about Victor Green, but I think that's a great thing about Tri-Valley and going to the co-ed winter season. These boys they were able to swim before in Bay State, but now it's a co-ed team, and I think some boys are more comfortable just swimming on the co-ed team, so it's great to have it. And boy, what a great swim. Looks like Victor Green and Jake are really going right out. Oh, tough call again, but boy, Norwood 1, 2, 3, I believe, on that race, so great swim.
No, they were all in the hunt there.
Victor was in lane 3, Jake in lane 5, and George over in lane 1. All great kids. I remember them as young swimmers standing on the deck. I used to be in charge of bullpen as well, lining kids up as they swam, so you really got to know these kids.
They call it the bullpen?
They call it the bullpen. You line them up according to lane, and you try to keep them entertained until it's their turn to swim. Not always an easy task, especially at these indoor pools.
Right.
In tight quarters.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Is like the way, Dedham does a great job moving it forward. There's not a lot of downtime, so kids aren't bored. They're not, bothering the coaches or the staff.
And here we go. We're moving into backstroke. So again, this is where you're going to see a few more heats. It's really about developing these kids, and more about, honestly, getting them confident in the pool and confident to swim 25 yards. And backstroke and freestyle, or the crawl, are really the strokes where that's a little bit easier to do.
Yes.
So it's great.
And for those watching at home who don't or may not understand why there's flags at the ends of every pool, so when you do the backstroke, obviously you can't see the wall from where you're looking. So the flag is how many yards to the wall?
I don't know. It can be different in pools. It's supposed to be standard, but as a swimmer, what you learn to do is you learn to count the number of strokes from the flag. So when you're warming up, you make sure that you go into the wall like you're swimming a race, and you count the number of strokes into the wall so that you don't bang your head into the wall.
You know your pace. That way you can time it out.
Yes. So.
That makes sense.
And then you don't create any drag by looking back for the wall, because if you stick your head in, obviously you're creating drag, in theory slowing yourself down. So.
Right.
But these Norwood swimmers are doing a great job, all of these swimmers. It's not easy to stay on your back and be confident that you're not going to hit the...
It's awkward.
You want to know where the wall is, because are you almost done yet?
Right.
And 2, I don't want to hit my head.
I would do it. I would look back and 10 yards in.
And if you're like me, I swim at different rates all the time, so the counting of the strokes didn't really work out for me.
Now at the high school level, do they start in the pool, right? And they dive.
They do. They start in the pool.
From a ground level, yes. So this method they're doing is more just to get them used to the habit of turning.
Get them used to it, and I think also it does move along a little faster.
Yeah.
So
gives them
in the summer they spend the time just diving in. In the winter they do start on the wall.
Right.
Which is a whole different method in learning how to propel yourself off the wall in a quick manner.
Right.
So. But these kids are doing a great job. Hopefully he knows he just saw the flag, so he's hoping he's close to that wall. Doing a great job, trying to be patient. I will tell you in the backstroke, if you flip onto your stomach, you are disqualified. But it really doesn't matter at this level. It's just learning about getting the stroke down.
Right.
And as you'll see, some of these kids, their goggles fall off, and you're looking for your goggles. It's all about making sure your equipment's on and trying not to pull on the lane line. There's all kinds of challenges in backstroke. Just going in a straight line is not easy.
Well, it's at that point you're just kind of, trying to get the stroke down, and especially when you're not, you're looking up, you're looking straight at the ceiling. So you don't necessarily know where you're going, and it's more just about getting that form down.
Yeah, inside it's a little easier because if you can look at ceiling and find something to concentrate. Outside, there's nothing to focus on.
Blue sky, clouds. I can't even imagine.
You better not follow the clouds. You'll end up across the board.
Hopefully you don't get the sun right in your eyes.
So we've got the 9-10 girls backstroke. Looks like Norwood has 3 swimmers in the pool. And we've got Megan Malloy, Quinlan Brown, and Madison Barker. And it sure looks like Megan Malloy's got this under control in lane 3. Looks like she's doing a great job.
Great form.
I'm not sure if it's Quinlan or Madison in lane 5 there, but she's doing a great job as well. Looks like Norwood took 1-2, Dedham's taken 3, and Norwood's going to finish up strong at 4.
Very good.
And it's great. Stayed on the back and finished strong. Great job.
So it looks like 4 Norwood, 1 Dedham for this next one.
So it looks like Owen Keats, Jack O'Keefe, and Advaith Shivkumar are going. So.
And I want to mention while we have you, for our Norwood viewers, some of you may be watching this on our new NCM community channel. We also offer on demand on our website, so anytime you want to watch this again, it'll be on demand. It'll be on our YouTube page as well, Norwood Community Media. We also will share this with Dedham Public Access, so if you're a Dedham viewer watching this, we appreciate you watching this as well. So
looks like this is all Norwood. Actually, Graham Brown's in here as well. So
yes,
we've got 4 Norwood swimmers. Just if they want to watch this on demand on the website, how do they go about doing that, Brian?
NorwoodCommunityMedia.org is our website where our entire on-demand library exists, along with several other sporting events, government meetings, community events, you name it, Norwood News every Friday. It's all there.
And if you go to the Video on Demand tab, is that where you community
Video
channel?
on Demand
Video
tab,
on Demand.
absolutely. And you can search it by keyword. The most recent will pop up, so when this gets done, edited and exported, it will be one of the most recent, but everything is organized in there, so if you're looking for something specific, we can direct you to that as well. And it will be playing on our community channel throughout next week and the coming weeks as well.
Looks like we're moving on to 11-12 girls back. And it looks like Charlotte McDonald is swimming, and Abby Curran.
Next event, girls, 50-yard backstroke.
50 yards. So this is now 50 yards.
So 50 yards is 2 lengths to the pool. I don't think we've mentioned that anywhere along the course of this.
So one end to end is 25.
Correct. Looks like we've got some great backstrokers here. Here you'll see the difference in how they know how to count. They can flip onto their stomachs to turn. It's just at no other point should they flip. And there's a certain number of strokes that are allowed once they flip onto their stomachs. So it really is about timing and knowing what you're supposed to do going into the walls.
If you go past the flag, are you cleared to turn at that point whenever?
No, not past the flag. It's really, I think you're allowed 1 stroke when you flip over.
Okay. So again, it's about counting that out and timing it.
That was a great swim by Charlotte McDonald, and Abby Kearns finishing strong there.
Very good.
So
Very, very good.
Charlotte's another swimmer who's been swimming for as many years now. So she really has grown into quite a strong swimmer.
When you have a couple older siblings, especially second, third generation swimmer, you're almost born into it. You don't have a choice.
Well, Charlotte actually is an only child. I do know that, and she does it all on her own. Okay, we got the 11-12 boys in here. Devin Morticelli and Oscar Batista. Dedham's got a strong swimmer here in lane 4. I wish I hadn't mixed up their papers because I don't know what age group he is, which paper. So Dedham, you're looking great. Strong swim. Great finish.
So we talk about how Dedham is, the home of obviously Dedham. But if you look up at the flags over there, it seems like they host a lot of other teams too. Zavarian, Ursuline, Medfield. A lot of other teams use this facility as their practice ground as well.
Well, that's part of the whole swimming issue here in the Northeast in general, is there's not a whole bunch of indoor pools.
Not to go around.
So
right.
it's really a fight for pool time. Not a fight, but there's competition for pool time in this area. And we had Blue Hills, which is where Norwood has traditionally swam, but they've been under construction a couple of seasons, so that's really limited. So you've got all of these towns looking for pools, all of these high schools looking for pools. So it's really quite a challenge to get pool time and to get that prime pool time. And obviously, if you're Dedham, you're getting the best pool time. So.
And you can imagine the difficulty just with the amount of kids that partake in these programs, how much pool time they really do need.
Yep. I think this is 13-14 back we're looking at. Madeline O'Keefe, Katie Mills, and Molly Keats are in the pool. What a nice swim. Nice swim.
When you get to this age, it almost becomes second nature, the stroke. Now it's about perfecting your times and,
that
trying
was
to
Maddie
reach that
O'Keefe
mark.
who came in first there for Norwood. Katie Mills was third, and and Molly Keats came in fourth.
Very good.
Great showing for Norwood there.
Boys, 13-14, 50-yard backstroke. Swimmer, Jim Arm.
So we got two Norwood swimmers here.
Trevor Brown is in, I believe, lane 3.
Lane 3, and we didn't get the name of lane 4, but it's great, lane 5, excuse me, but it's great to see somebody in the pool.
Yes.
Looks like Trevor lost his goggles, so he's going to have a little bit of a battle coming back, but at least in backstroke, your face isn't in the water the whole time.
Right.
Nice turns and staying on their backs, doing what they're supposed to do. You can see their teammates over there cheering them on. It's always good to hear them cheering each other on.
Always.
And you can hear that when you're in the water. It does make a difference. So it's always a great.
That's what I was saying. Like, when does the adrenaline start to kick in when you hear the crowd coming for the home stretch?
Well, it really depends on the meet. But when you've got a whole bunch of swimmers tight, they're all in there swimming in, and I think the adrenaline often kicks in right at the turn. So it's really, because that's where you see where you are, and you need to know if you got to catch up or you got to, or if you're out ahead. You want to stay ahead, obviously.
Right. That's great.
Girls and boys, 15-18.
Okay, so we got the girls and boys going together here.
So it looks like this will be...
For backstroke, we see
Jim Arm.
Michaela Hurley, Audrey Scafati, and Kira Vitorisi going for the girls. Ryan Steele and Jake Wilkinson going for the boys. And in the center lane, there lane 4, we've got a Dedham swimmer pushing hard against all these Norwood swimmers. It looks like Michaela and Jake are really swimming, trying to get each other. So they've been swimming together for years.
Yeah,
so
this looks like a high school preview meet.
It's fun to race. And it looks like they've got a great stroke. Both of them are looking strong.
And Michaela, neck and neck.
Yeah.
Oh!
It looks like, strong finish by Michaela, but I think Jake just out-touched her.
He must have said Jake was right next to her.
Audrey pulled in, and then Ryan, I think that's
Yeah.
Ryan Steele. Is that right? Who was in there? And Kira Vitorisi looking great.
That's great.
That's a great preview of our high school team there.
I was going to say, this good high school representation there. So I know Coach Roger is probably excited about that one.
And now we're going to finish out with the freestyle relays. And again,
Yes.
it goes back to your same question. Everybody swims crawl in this, but I don't think they have to. But we're going to go with the 8 and unders. This is done by age groups, so you're going to see some great relays. Looks like Dedham. Looks like Norwood's relay's coming. It just takes a little while. This, I will tell you, as a bullpen veteran, is the most stressful time of the meet. People want to go home, but you're trying to get 8 and unders, 9 10s, 11 12s all lined up. It's not easy. I feel for the parents here.
So you're saying it's not for the weak at heart?
Not for the weak of heart at all. They're eating. You're taking them away from their snacks they're possibly eating. It's never pretty. And trying to make sure one's on the right end of the pool and the other one's on the other end of the pool. This is a stressful time. But I will say that the relays are my favorite part of the meet because it's really, obviously, it's the swim team and there's a team component, but a lot of this is individual. But you know, the relays, it's a team, and this, for the adrenaline you're looking for, more often than not, this is where you really hear it kick in.
Well,
especially for the older kids.
Right. Say you're the first and last, it's like you got 4 or 3 people waiting for you.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So you're going to see, this is a 100-yard relay, so each swimmer will swim a 25-yard length.
Yep.
And these are all 8 and unders. And boy, it's crazy to see the size difference between the kids who are 8 and the kids who are 5. It really is amazing to see the size difference here. And you'll see all levels of development here as well.
Yes.
But it's really important that they wait to dive off until the person touches the wall. That's really where you're going to see some disqualifications because people get excited and jump off too early. But it also is a critical thing to get the timing right, especially as you get older, to learn the timing coming into the wall, because if you get better at it, you know when you can start your dive as they touch the wall.
Competitive swimming is a matter of seconds, so
it's
timing
a matter
is
of
everything.
tenths of seconds.
Yeah, timing is
when
everything.
you get up into the older age groups, I mean, you've seen it in the Olympics. It's a touch.
Right.
It's hundredths of seconds at times. So you can see here now, it's a little nerve-wracking, but she needs to go. She's just trying to learn how to dive.
Right.
There she goes. Yep. She got it. So.
It's almost like she just needed the coach to tell her. Hey,
she just needed the coach to tell her. Coach Catherine. Yep. They all listen to Coach Catherine. They really do adore her.
That's great.
And you don't want to push them in. You have to let them figure it out on their own. So. But what a swim for that, you know, I mean, look how long the pool is. Imagine.
25 yards at that age, it might as well be 2,500.
Yeah. But here we go to see the Norwood swimmers trying to catch that Dedham swimmer. And this is the piece that you really always like about swimming. It's like always chasing. And what a great swim by Dedham, but honestly, that Norwood swimmer did his best. What a great swim. Nice swim.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Here we go, the final relay's coming in.
I believe that was John Campbell who just finished up.
Well, John Campbell had a great swim on that leg of the relay. So.
We have our last 2 finishing up here.
What a great swim by these young kids. So. Now we should see the 9-10 relays, and depending on how many there are, you know, we may see the boys and girls swim together again. Because once we get to this age group, it's girls 9-10 and boys 9-10 relays. Yep. So it's no longer mixed. So. But it looks like we've got 2 Norwood swim team.
So it looks like we have maybe 1 or 2 more 100 relays, and then we switch to the 200s when we get to the 11-12s.
Looks like we've got 3 Norwood 9-10 relays. 2 girls, 1 boy. So here we go, Norwood. Let's go.
Full Norwood meet here, so.
I've actually been surprised at the depth of Norwood tonight. Dedham's always had a really strong team, and you know, I think it does have a little bit to do with vacation time at this time of year, but
naturally.
And if you'll see, if you've noticed, it's really the Norwood's being timed tonight. Dedham has the luxury of having this pool at all times, so they can do their A and B times, all throughout the course of the season at any home meet.
Right.
Norwood really has to take advantage of when they swim in Norwood or Westwood for the summer to get these times and to do these splits.
And I think it's appreciated through the representation, right? Because I think people recognize, it is sort of scarce the time that they have.
Yep.
So whenever they get it, they're taking advantage
When
of it.
they get their chance in an official pool, they really need to take advantage of it, especially if they want to try and qualify for that A meet. It really is, those times are tough to make.
Yes.
So, and we get limited chances to do it. So, it's a great stroke in this Norwood swimmer in lane 3 with the finish up. I love watching her dig into the pool there.
Yep.
Really good stroke. Hard finish. It's hard to swim all by yourself when you're not chasing anybody.
I mean,
so
being the anchor is
give
a lot
that
of pressure,
credit.
too.
Being the anchor is a lot of pressure. Nice swim by this Norwood swimmer, too. Love that finish.
Yep.
Here again, another strong finish. Looks keeping her eye on the end of the pool, just trying to get into the wall as fast as she can. So,
And I think
great finish.
I think it's good to know too that none of these kids are stopping. No matter the length, amount of the time, they finish strong every time.
It's
every
great
single
to see
time.
that determination.
Right.
I think what's interesting to see too, I'm just getting to the end of all my papers, and we had 138 athletes compete tonight from Norwood. So
138 athletes, I think
that's a
maybe
lot to be
50 plus events.
Now it looks like we got the 11-12 girls and boys swimming. And this is a 200-yard relay, so these kids will be swimming 50 yards each. So
Yes.
this is where it gets a little bit interesting and a little strategy.
And
can
all of a
come in.
sudden, the atmosphere starts to pick up a little bit, right?
So it looks like for Norwood, we've got Catherine Green, Michaela Brown, Abby Kern, and Charlotte McDonald in one relay for the girls 11-12. The second relay is Madeline O'Keefe, Alexandra Inzota, Charlotte Matthews, and Hannah Abraham. So those are two really strong relays, I have to say. Less than a second is separating their seed times, so that's a close set. Though it looks like one of Norwood's girls' relays may not be here tonight because it looks like we only have one. Dedham's fielding a strong relay here. And then for the boys, looks like Agamemnon and Alexopoulos, Thomas Lynch, David DiMattia, and Michael Flynn. Oh no, excuse me, that's 13-14. So I read the wrong ones. Right now, Catherine Green, Michaela Brown, Abby Carwin, and Charlotte McDonald are in, and David Lamotraticelli, James Saulnier, John Lynch, and Oscar Batista.
Very good.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So it looks like we got the final legs in the pool now.
Looks like Dedham's pulling out in the girls' race. Looks like Norwood's got a slight lead in the boys' race. Oh, it's not the final leg. We got final legs up on the blocks.
Oh, it's a 50, so I'm almost thinking there's people on the other side, but they're not.
Still close enough if they get. Typically, your strongest swimmer is the last, or I should say the swimmer with the best split, and that can change any day.
Right.
Looks like Norwood's got the lead on the boys' side, Dedham's got the lead on the girls' side, but if you look up there, our Norwood swimmer for the girls is pretty strong, looking good. Sure looks like she almost caught up to her on the turn, so it's looking, looks like Norwood's got a little bit of a lead. This is the adrenaline you were waiting for.
Here we go.
Great swim by Norwood, this anchor. Oh, what a beautiful swim. Trying to see her name on the cap.
Yeah, talk about a strong finish.
Looks like Charlotte McDonald. Great swim, Charlotte. Love to see that. Looks like Dedham boys are trying to make a run on the Norwood, but it looks like Norwood might pull it out. Norwood, great job, 11-12.
Yes.
You finished up.
Batista.
I believe that is Oscar. There's
Oscar.
two Batistas, Oscar and Jaden. I gotta look. I think it's Oscar is the older. It is Oscar. Great swim by Oscar. Want to give the right brother the right credit.
Of course.
So now we've got the 13-14s and 15-18s swimming here together.
Okay.
Looks like Katie Mills, Megan Crispy, Molly Keats, and Kaylee Brown are swimming in the 13-14 girls. Looks like the other 13-14 girls are Madeline O'Keefe, Alex Nzota, Charlotte Matthews, and Hannah Abrahams.
So is this the last event here?
Looks like we've got another. Yep, this looks like this is the last event. So,
Right.
Because they combined them. So our boys for 13-14 are Agamemnon Alexopoulos, Thomas Lynch, David DiMattia, and Michael Flynn. And it looks like we have another boys relay of Connor Curran, Joseph Green, Ted Caparata, and Trevor Brown. Then it looks like we've got a 15-18 boys relay, maybe? Of Jake
Yes.
Wilkinson, George Lynch. And I am not quite sure who the other two are on there. I'll have to try and figure it out from sight. Looks like Michael
lane are they in?
Scuderi and Victor Green. That's who it is. They're in
Yeah.
lane 1 there.
Yep.
So it looks like two 13-14 girls relays. We must not have had enough girls for 15-18, but Victor Green's just diving into the pool there.
Lane 1, yep.
Yep. Ted Caparata. This is always fun because as a swimmer, I think it was always fun when you got the opportunity to race the boys. It adds a little extra. When you're racing your boy teammates,
It's
fun.
competitive,
It's competitive. Everybody wants to do the best they can.
Get the most out of it.
So. It's looking good. All right, so we got a race between 2 and 4, and 3 looks like he wants to catch him. So
Yes.
let's see. Lane 1, those 15-18 boys are looking good, and I know
they're
there's a
strong.
couple. They swim for a couple different high schools, but they
Right.
look like they've got a good season ahead of them. Up, and it looks like lane 4 is just slightly out of
Coming
lane
in.
2 here. And they're watching as the finish comes on. Our 13-14 girls edged out the 13-14
edge.
boys there. Our second. And a great swim. We got one more team still in the water. They're finishing strong, and their teammates are waiting for them, which is always a good sign.
Absolutely.
That's what it's
Nope.
about, being a team.
Nobody's checking out early.
Nope. Nice flip turn there. Finishing strong.
And you're right. They all stay in the pool and they wait.
They do. They wait for their teammates. It's about being part of a team.
Right.
So it's not easy, no matter how fast you swim. What a great showing by Norwood tonight.
Awesome job. So I believe that does it for the events. Doesn't look like anybody else is coming back up, so
No?
that'll do it here.
Looks like they're just finishing up the scoring, so maybe we'll get a hint as to what the scoring is. It's never easy. It was a great night here, though, in Dedham. We really thank them for letting us come and film. Made it a great opportunity to get some local kids on camera. Hopefully Dedham will be able to broadcast this as well. We like to share with our local community stations.
Yes, absolutely.
Here's the announcement.
Dedham 163, Norwood 245.
It looks like Norwood finished
Norwood
strong
takes
at
the edge,
245.
yes. Very well done.
Great night for the Norwood Stingrays. Great night for the Dedham Clippers. All the kids who swam here tonight. It was just great to watch them in the pool.
I think you saw, a lot of these kids are at the high school level already, but a lot of these kids are, right on the cusp of being a freshman. So you saw probably the future of Norwood High swimming, and Dedham High swimming for that matter.
And the future looks bright, that's for sure. And this is the joy of being inside at a swim meet. You get to hear the cheers.
Yeah. So they just finished up theirs there. And that'll do it here for us. On behalf of Sarah Sullivan, Brian Curley, our wonderful camera person, getting you all the action today. My name is Brian Dunn. We thank you for watching yet another Norwood Community Media production. As I mentioned earlier, you can watch this on demand at norwoodmedia.org. You can watch this on the NCM Community channel, so check your local listings. We have those on our website as well. You can watch it on YouTube. We're everywhere. So this will be all over the map. So we thank you for tuning in. And I'm Brian Dunn.
My name's Sarah Sullivan.
And thank you, everybody. Have a great night.